Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is another episode of the world famous, the universally loved, the best podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what they say. I don't care what awards these people get. The best podcast, and 1, 2, 3. You know, we just call this show Online Marketing Live. Tonight, the rainy, the soggy, the dreary, the cold city of Atlanta, state of Georgia. Right here, tucked in the good old U.S. of A. Ladies and gentlemen, come on in, come on in, come on in. You can sit right next to me. We are here in the good old truck, the 18-wheeler. We are here tonight. We're going to have a little chit-chat. We're going to talk about, as normal, we're going to talk about something important. Everything we discuss on this show is important. Grab a seat, listen, and I will discuss with you why sometimes, you know how we talk about sometimes distractions and how you, instead of engulfing content, watching TV all the time, you should be creating your content, creating your videos, your audios, your you know, the podcast, the YouTubes, the blogs, the whatever you need to create content, to get your business off the ground, get your business running. You know, sometimes, especially when you're starting off, you can get easily distracted from old habits, old ways, old TV shows, things of that nature. And sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, these distractions can eliminate themselves. And I will tell you what I am talking about right now. Now, this week, I haven't watched football in the last 3 weeks. I told myself that I was going to stop watching football, you know, starting with, because, listen, my daughter was born in July, okay? And so, I haven't really watched football, and then my parents bought her a little sweatshirt about the Atlanta Falcons, and I said, you know, I'll put it on, and I said, you know what, I haven't seen a game, let's check a game out. I watched a couple games, it wasn't bad, but I didn't get too deep into it. I said, you know what, I want to just keep creating content, and plus, a lot of times now, in between the content, the baby, I sleep a lot, you know? When you don't get a lot of sleep, sometimes you love to take a nap, you know. So, but that's neither here nor there. But I was telling myself, I said, you know what, I want to pump out more content. This podcast is great. We have 400 and some episodes. We have 400 and including the bonus episodes, I think we have like 460, 470 episodes. So that's a lot, you know. But there's always more. You can always do more, and I want to do more. And so I had watched a couple of games, and I said, all right. I don't want to get into the habit. I don't want to fall back into the habit of watching a lot of football, because you know how it goes. If you like sports, you watch one game, you watch another game. You know, it's like if you ever watch the Premier League, you know, I'm sure some of you have. They have a game at like 7 o'clock here in the United States, they have games at 7 o'clock. I know it's like noon in England, you know. And so they have a game from 7 to 9, take a break from 10 to 12. And then sometimes they have a game from like 1 to 3. And so you can get caught up. It's, you know, even though soccer goes by quicker, it's still, you don't want to spend 6-9 hours watching, you know, sports, especially when you are running a business, you know. Now, when you get the business established, you get all that going, you know, maybe if that's what you want to do, hey, good luck. But I'm not in a position where I want to be. So for me, I'm like, I'm not doing this. And so I said, I'm not going to watch sports. I'm not going to watch football. And then this week, it put the nail in the coffin for me. And I said, I am never I'll be, if somebody comes to my house, somebody comes to visit, if my brother-in-law comes to visit, then, if he wants to watch a game, then I'll sit there with my brother-in-law, because, that's what we do sometimes. That's what we used to do. But for me personally, on my own time, on my own free will, my own free merit, I will never watch another American football game again. I'm already out on the baseball. I don't watch anymore. The NBA, I really didn't. I stopped watching that like a year or two ago. I stopped watching the baseball. I still watch soccer because it hasn't irked me, and I watch. Well, if I keep watching, I watch Manchester United. If I keep watching them, I probably should stop. You know what I mean? But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But I will watch them a little bit. I reduce watching them too, a little bit. Watch them a little bit. I don't keep up. But the football was the biggest pain, because like I said, you get caught up because you get caught up. You'll be watching the game, and then they say, "Oh, we're gonna go to this game. It's exciting. It's the last 2 minutes," and 2 minutes in football means 20 minutes at least. So you sitting there watching that, and then that goes off, and then they have another game pop up, and they go, the game of the week, and you're like, oh, this is a pretty good matchup. I wanted to see Tom Brady against Aaron Rodgers, and so you sit there and you watch some more of that, and that's how they get you caught up. But this week, I said, you know what? I am done with these people. I am done with this nonsense. This is it for me, and I will tell you why. Because there's a coach. He was a coach for the Miami Dolphins. You can look this up. His name is Brian Flores. And he got fired. He lost his job. And, coaches get fired all the time. That's not a big deal. But apparently, Mr. Flores decided he was going to sue the NFL for racial discrimination. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the year 2021. And you and I both know, hey, especially if you're a person of color, if you don't even have to be, if you're a person of color, that's racial. If you ever been discriminated against because of your sexual orientation, that's another thing. So listen, we've all of us, have probably heard something that we didn't like about our parents or this, that, and the other, but it is what it is. But anyway, let's get back to the racial discrimination. So this guy, he's a black guy, and he got fired. The GM of the Miami Dolphins is another black man. So that is kind of odd to say the racial discrimination. But that's not the worst part, okay? So it's odd that he said racial discrimination when somebody black fired him, But that's not the part that got away with me. The thing that got away with me, okay, he's gonna sue. He's suing these different teams. He snitched on He snitched on the guy that gave him a chance to be an assistant, Bill Belichick. He basically dined him out, and was like, oh, he texted me and thought I had got the job and this, that, and the other. He threw him under the bus, which snitching is, snitching ain't cool. But anyway. The thing that got away with me was not the racial discrimination lawsuit. It is what it is. People lose their job. People get emotional. They want to sue. They grasp at straws. I heard some of the commentators on ESPN, and I would never watch ESPN again. I am done with ESPN. ESPN to me is they have fully jumped the ship. The one show that I watch, that one show that I still would turn to and watch on ESPN every blue moon, and I just watch it every blue moon now, is Pardon the Interruption. I've watched that show since the beginning. I watched that show since October the 15th, 2001. I love those guys. Those guys are great. But other than that, ESPN, I'm done with them. Okay? Because the commentator said they compared the NFL to a plantation. Ladies and gentlemen, people, and I'm bringing it back to us, and I'm bringing it back to distractions, but I just want to say, people, that is a very asinine statement to make, because you can't compare being a rich athlete, and nobody's upset. I'm not upset with these people because they make money playing sports, Hey man, God bless you, That is great. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller, I wish I could play basketball and get paid, because I loved playing basketball when I was a kid, but I was, I'm 5'11", 6 foot, not very athletic, not a lot of speed going on, but anyway. And these people, they compare being in the NFL, being in like basketball. These athletes love to compare themselves to slaves, and that is one of the most stupid. That is such a stupid statement that you can make. It's very asinine. It's very insulting to people that actually were slaves, because they didn't have a choice. You have a choice. You don't have to be in the NBA. You don't have to be in the you don't have to be an NFL player. If you go to college, you get a scholarship and you graduate, you get a bachelor's degree in whatever, you can turn down the NFL and go get you a job. Go work for yourself, or go work at a company, or do whatever. You don't have to go to the NFL. These people make millions of dollars, and then they open a Chicken Lips, and they say, "Hey man, this is like a plantation." Last time I checked, plantations didn't pay people millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's kind of ridiculous, and the white athletes go through the same process as the black athletes. So all you guys slaves, or just the black people slaves? And it's very stupid. It's a very stupid statement to make. These people at ESPN, they kept, they bring it up enough, and the athletes bring it up enough. They're like, slavery, and I'm on the plantation. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. It's very insulting, actually. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. It's insulting to the people that actually were slaves. People got killed trying to run away. People got killed from heat exhaustion. People died from heat exhaustion. People died, running away because they didn't want to be slaves anymore. People probably killed themselves because they didn't want to live their life anymore. Actual people had actual things happen to them. And when it comes to slavery, and they got paid nothing. They got taken away from their families. People's guys that their wives got raped by slave owners. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But to be a rich athlete here in the United States, and to compare yourself to being on a plantation, it's just an insult, and it's so stupid. And I'm just like, you know what? Why am I entertaining this bull jive? Why am I watching this? Why am I listening to this? And I said, you know what? Instead of me pissing away 3 hours on Sundays, because next year I would have went quite a few weeks without watching, and then eventually, I probably would have watched a game on Thanksgiving, or something like that, because that's what happened to me this year. I didn't watch, and then Thanksgiving came. My family was here, and they love football, so they wanted to watch. So I watched a game of then. But now I'm definitely gonna be like, that's all right, I'll be on my phone or something, while if you watch it, I'm not at all interested, it turned my stomach. And ladies and gentlemen, I say all that to say, sometimes the distractions, you have to fight off the distractions, and sometimes the distractions can turn you off. Okay, so And a lot of times we waste time that way. We sit there and we say, oh, we justify the distraction. It's like, oh, I haven't watched in umpteen weeks. I'll check it out right now. And it's like, no, you could be creating content. If you are not where you want to be, do not waste time consuming other people's stuff. And you have to think about, you have to break it down. Everything that you watch is consuming somebody's content. Whether you watch a 30-minute episode of something, whether you watch a documentary, whether you watch a movie, whether you watch a sporting event, does not matter. When you are not producing content, if you're sitting out there watching TV, you are watching somebody else's content when you should be producing your own. And ladies and gentlemen, stay away from the distractions. The more that you produce, the better off you will be. We talked about this. I have a episode dropping soon. In the next couple of days. It's a bonus episode. It's about Spotify. It's about building up your platform like Joe Rogan did, and now how all the big tech people are coming after Joe Rogan. I talked about that. That's going to be in a bonus episode. But the more content you produce, the more good content you produce, the better off you will be. You will be able to, the faster you'll be able to transition from having a job to, creating a business for yourself, starting a business for yourself, the better off you will be, and you can always form new habits. You don't have to stick with the old ones. You don't have to be, and you'll learn that you'll learn that you don't miss certain things. Like I told you, I went all weekend without watching YouTube, and I didn't miss YouTube. So I was like, oh, I can survive without YouTube, And it goes the same with Facebook. It's been like 90 days now since I haven't had a Facebook page, 120 days, something like that. I don't miss Facebook at all. I'm gonna go back on there just for the business, But I know now that I don't need Facebook, and I'm gonna start up all my, like my Twitter account. I'm just gonna switch that over to a business account, and I don't need to be. I'm never distracted on Twitter, because I don't look at stuff. I only go on there to promote the podcast. That's it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the less distracted you are, the more you can do, the more content you can produce, the more dollars you can bring in, the more you can get away from the job or whatever you want faster. You don't have to sit there and get sucked in, because sometimes you have to do it and sometimes they'll do it for you. Let's say you watch I used to watch these stupid daytime TV shows, and after a while, I didn't have to break the habit. They did it for me, because they got so ridiculous. It's just like, come on, man. I'm too intelligent to watch this stupid stuff and sit here and act like I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? And so, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes you'll have to break the habit. Sometimes they'll break it for you. ESPN broke mine for me. The NFL broke mine for me. They don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm skipping on the Super Bowl. I'm skipping on all the preseason, all sports radio talk. It's this podcast that I enjoy, even though I don't watch football. I'm going to cut that out. That's another 40 minutes I could be doing something else. It's a lot of things that I'm going to cut out. Look, it's a lot of little ancillary things when it comes to sports and football that I'm going to cut out that will save me more time and I can create more content. And ladies and gentlemen, that's how it goes. Sometimes you break habits and sometimes the habits break for you. All right. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We will be back tomorrow with all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. And ladies and gentlemen, as I told you before we go, think about something that you enjoy doing and think about how much time you use doing it. For me, I would tell you, watching sports, I would watch the sports, and then I used to listen to the talk radio. That's more time. And then you will watch a documentary about sports. That's more time. A biography about sports. That's more time, And there's so much time that was wrapped up into that. That's like, now that I think about it, I was like, whew, I got a lot of time to do what I need to be doing. So think about something that you love to do. For me, another thing for me, going to the movies. The pandemic happened. I realized I don't need to go to the movies that much. I can go once every blue moon and survive. It's okay. Thank you, pandemic. No, not, you know what I mean. But so that's another one that I learned that I don't need. And so, ladies and gentlemen, think about the time that you spend. Think about the time that you're using. Think about what distracts you the most, what distracts you the least, and take it from there. You know, you want to be creating as much content as possible. You want to be doing the thing that you need to do as much as possible. Learn a new skill, learn a new craft, whatever, however. You want to be doing that. The more you do of that, the better off you will be. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the podcast today. We will be back tomorrow with an all new episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Rizzano. Thank you for listening. And as always, everybody,